Hello and welcome to Chubby Pug Yarn podcast. If you're a new viewer, thank you so much for checking me out. Hello from Frank. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. So yeah, I decided to move out in the yard again to see if I can manage to record outside. At least the bulldog has very good use of me being outside, so I can keep an eye on him while he runs around and keep him company. The pug is also here, so he will probably come by and say hello also. So yeah, this maybe I should have started with, this is a crafty podcast, mostly about knitting, but sometimes crochet, cross stitch, sewing and stuff, but today it's all knitting. So yeah, I haven't been recording for a couple of weeks. It has been like crazy hot here in Norway, so we have had above 30 degrees, so I have been sleeping a lot and yeah, just resting and sitting with my feet in a bucket of cold water just to keep cool. So I haven't been knitting that much in these weeks. Now I'm off on maternity leave. There's a big luxury here in Norway that you can go home from work 3 weeks before your due date. So you can rest and do all the things at home that you want to or need to, or so I took the opportunity to be home for 3 weeks. I have been home for 1 week, but I haven't done very much since it's been so hot. Now it's a lot better, temperature wise, for me at least. So yeah, now I'm at 38 weeks and 4 days, so it's not very long until the baby can arrive. It can arrive at any moment, but 2 or 3 weeks time maybe, we will see. This is quite exciting. Hopefully I will be able to knit and do a lot of nice stuff before the baby arrives, and that I can continue while I'm on the maternity leave with the baby. So maybe I should just get on with showing you all the stuff. I have really missed talking to you guys. So I just have to check because one of our neighbors have forgotten a ball in the yard that Frank found yesterday, and I have just put it up like on the rail, so he can't reach it, and he is sitting in there and staring at it because I don't want him to chew the ball apart since it's not his ball. I have tried to exchange it for his ball, but he just don't want his own ball because it's not fun. So yeah, we will see. But anyway, I have 2 finished objects knitting wise. One I'm talked about last time. My eagerness to try to reduce my number of works in progress that is just laying around. So I talked about my UFO section, and I finished my shorts or bloomers. So yes, they're completely done. I haven't washed them yet, but otherwise they are finished. I will woven in the ends and all that jazz. So this pattern is a free pattern available in many languages from Maja Karlsson. She has a web shop called Majas Manufaktur in Sweden, and she designed these. and have instructions for you how to alter it to your own size. So mine are quite a lot bigger, but they fit quite well. I love the long ribbing in the tummy area, and they were quite quick to finish up for me. I probably made them a little bit too big in the legs and in the hips, a little bit, but worst case scenario, I can try to wash them a little bit too hot and see if I can felt them just a little bit by hand, probably, so I can have control over it. But yeah, as soon as it got hot, I finished these, so I won't be able to use them until until hey Alphonse, could you come and say hey? I won't be able to use them until the autumn, but they are finished. I have one UFO less, so now I just have to start dig and see if I can find any other UFOs that I need to finish up. Unfortunately, I have done several cast-ons since the last time, so there are no more UFOs in my whip area. But maybe I should just take a new one and finish it up, because it feels good when you finish up things, doesn't it? So yeah. The other finished object I'm really pleased with. It has been my almost sleeping on the couch, being pregnancy brainy tired knitting for a while. So here is my blanket, all finished up. So this pattern is from a Swedish designer called Tantkofta, and it's called the runda filten, the round blanket. So it's more of a recipe, then you decide how often you want these little dots and how big segments you want. So it's perfect for scraps and that kind of stuff, or in my case I just had several skeins in different colors. So I knitted this in Hillesvåg Ask. It's a sport weight, I think, fingering or sport. I knitted it with 3.75mm needles. The only thing I didn't use from the recipe or the pattern is the edging. I just did an I-cord bind off. The pattern has, you do garter stitch edge to prevent it from flaring or rolling. So if you have garter section in the end, it will be easier to keep it straight. But I used my new flexible blocking wires, and I blocked it quite hard, so I have no problems with the edge rolling. So this is for the little one. I'm actually I have become quite a big fan of Ask. For me it's the nice combination of drapiness but still sturdy and a little bit on the rough side. It's not that itchy. I'm quite a sensitive person myself, but it doesn't feel scratchy when I have washed it. So I hope this will be nice for an autumn blanket for the baby. And yeah, that's all the finished objects. And then I have oh, actually I do have a UFO that I'm working on. This little sock has been laying around for a while. Also for the baby, I knitted it in the autumn or something. And These are scraps that I used to make matching socks, since my husband has one pair of these stripy socks. The yarn is from Desperate and Dice. So Mr. Wrong is the colorway. So it's a free ply fingering weight soft yarn, I believe. No, it's just merino. Anywho, the kit had this red and white stripe, and then you had a mini skein in black. But I used up all the black in the mini skein, so I just took some from the stash. So this one has been laying around, and now I have started on the second one. So I'm almost finished with the leg. So as a stitch guide, stitch number guide, I used Mrs. Weasel's family sock pattern from a homespun house, but I'm not doing any texture or anything. I'm just using the stitch count to get somewhere close to a baby size. So yeah, that's actually an UFO that I'm working on. Now it feels great, and now I don't have to find anyone else. I have one. And then the only project you have seen, I have done a little bit of progress, is on my Rita Socks. The design from Little Bobbins, Danny. So I have a complete leg. This was my work knitting until I went home on maternity leave last week, and I haven't been knitting on them. So I'm trying out these Addy Crazy Trio needles for this one. So we will see how I like it. I have noticed that the yarn, it's from Bärenwolle. It does a little bit of pooling with the pink, so it goes around, but it goes very, very slowly, so I don't think it will be a huge problem. It's quite a long leg for me to knit, but it's nice to have some different kinds of sock knitting, so I'm not just knitting the same sock. So yeah, there's a lace patterning on it, and I hope it will be visible, even though I chose quite a busy yarn. It's not that busy, but a little bit more busy than it looked in the skein. But yeah, I will keep knitting on it when I have the energy, but at least one leg is finished. And then I have one more baby knitting thing in this yarn. This is my cake. This is from Countess Ablaze. I don't remember the base, but it's the colorway Nerds Prefer the Rainbow Darker, and it's a little bit of sparkle in it. I don't know if you can see. Maybe if I put it in the sunlight. Yeah. So it's a rainbow that is kind of over dyed with black. And I am knitting a little cardigan for the baby. So let's see if I can show you this. It's like a kimono style, or side buttoned. So I will have buttons over here at this side, and I have one sleeve done, and I just put the second sleeve on the needles, but I haven't started on it. So hopefully I can finish this before the baby comes, so I can have it when we go to the hospital. And I really like how this yarn looks in garter stitch. It's really nice. So it's, yeah, all of the rainbow. It's really cool. So this entire cardigan is in garter stitch, and it's the pattern I'm using is from a book I got for my birthday. I haven't shown you the book since I forgot it last time. It's a Norwegian author and knitting designer called Tina Haglund, and she's also known as Strikkesilla online. So this is I believe it's her third book or something. I have 2 more. So I got this for my birthday from my friends, and in here they have this liten rileke. So this is unfortunately only in Norwegian, but it's a really nice book. It's knitted clothing for children from 0 to 12. So it's quite a wide range of things, and quite a good range of sizes. I will probably knit a lot more from it, at least hats and mittens and tights and stuff, but we will see how much knitting I actually will be able to do when the baby actually arrives. I'm not pretending that I will get a lot of knitting time, but if I do get it, it will be a bonus, and then I can knit a lot of baby things from this one and from the earlier book too. So they are really nice books. So yeah, the little cardigan, liten rileke, will probably be finished for my next episode. Fingers crossed, if I don't get into labor before. It's quite exciting, a little bit weird, but kind of fun that you don't know when it will start or not. So yeah. Then I have 2 more works in progress. I have been knitting quite a lot. This is from the Swedish designer Anna Bergman. Hey, Bobson! Sorry, my pug just came running like crazy. Alphonse, come. Can you say hey? He just wanted some snuggles. So yeah, Anna Bergman is Swedish designer for mittens and socks, and I actually have 2 designs from her I'm knitting. So this is her newest sock design called Bird. So it's available in Swedish and English. You should check it out on Ravelry. So this is my first sock. I saw it like 2 weeks ago when she posted pictures and said that she was thinking hopefully would be able to release it the weekend. So I was stalking her on the interwebs, but it took another week for it to get released, and I cast it on as soon as I could. So for this I'm usually quite old stash for me. I have a grey skein of Plucky Knitter that I ordered some time ago, 2014 or something. So it's from the Just the Grays collection they did in 2014. The colorway is Gumshoe. So it's merino cashmere nylon. So it's a marled grey, and it looks really good. And then I had some neutral yarn from Chester Wool that I have gotten in merino cashmere nylon mix, so it's the same. It's not the same base, but it's similar in fiber content. And then I have a mini that I've dyed for experimenting with yellow colorways when I was going to dye up some other yellow yarn, which I will show you. But this was a mini that I just have had in my big bowl of minis, so it was perfect for these birds. So it's a little bit fiddly to have, there's one row like where the beak is, where you have 3 colors in one round, but it's just one round per pattern repeat. I changed up the heel for this, so I knitted a heel flap and gusset with slipped stitches, since they fit better on the husband's feet. And now we have a bird in the yard. Let's see if the pug wants to hunt it. But anywho, so this is the first sock, and I have tried it on my husband, and the cuff is still a little bit tighter than normal. I think it's because of the free color round. So I used I'm using my things. So 2.25, the yellow ones for the ribbing, and then I switched up to 2.5 for the color work, since the color work, at least for me, tends to knit in a tighter gauge. So I went up a quarter needle size for the pattern, and then I went back to 2.25 for the foot. So yeah, just knitting and enjoying. It's really nice, and I'm really glad I did the heel flap and gusset. I think it looks okay. There in the pattern it's a short row heel, but I have a high instep, and so does my husband. So hey. So the last thing I'm knitting on is also from Anna Bergman. It's from this book, Tant Ultus Vantar. It's also available in English now, so if you want to knit lovely mittens from this amazing Swedish designer, this book is available in English on her website, which I will link to in the down bar. So I figured it's not hot enough, so I need to knit some mittens. If you have followed me on Instagram, when I have dyed up yarn, I usually post pictures of my finished skeins. So maybe you have seen pictures of this combination, and I added in some white. So this is also Hillesvåg Ask, as in my baby blanket, and I really like this for mittens. Earlier I have always been using Rauma Finol for mittens, but the problem is there that I have quite big hands, and I have a hard time to get a fabric for mittens that are durable enough when knitting with Finol. If I knit it to the gauge that the most designers use, they get too small, and if I go up needle sizes, I think the fabric is too loose. So it's a great solution for me to use Ask, since it's a little bit on the thicker side. I can use now I can use like all the mitten patterns I find that are for women's hands, and they will fit even my big hands, and also my husband. He has like a small gentleman's, and I have a big lady. So here is my first mitten. So these mittens are called Anna in the book. So I'm almost at the top, so I'm going to do decreases really soon. The pattern is really nice, since I can look at the patterning from one repeat and just see where I'm at, except for the thumb gusset. But yeah, it fits really nice, and yeah, I really like how this yarn is turning out. I'm really excited to see how it will be when I wash it, and see if it will be in any other, if it will like change any in the quality or something. So yeah, and these two I've dyed myself. So the yellow sock yarn that I used for my bird socks was a test drive for tuning in for this yellow color. Hillesvåg is Ask is a Norwegian yarn, and they come in a lot of beautiful colors, but I haven't seen any highlighter colors like this, so I just bought 2 skeins of white. They have several kinds of white as well, so they have one that is fully bleached, this is that one, and then they have a half bleached and a natural, so you can use different kinds of white depending on what you want to. So for this I just wanted the like really bleached white, and I used another skein split up into 50 grams for dyeing this. And the really nice thing for me is that I didn't have to rewind the yarn, since the skein from Hillesvåg, it's a complete skein, but you can like flip it up and you have 250 grams and just cut the string in the middle, so no rewinding for me. I think it's awesome, it's time saving. So yeah, I have promised my husband some new skull mittens, Selbu deaf mittens probably, for next winter, so I will probably use Ask for that, to see, because I made him a pair 2 years ago in Finul, and they are more holes than nothing, and I have been mending and mending and mending, and he's like, I probably need a new pair, so I will try it out with Ask, but that will have to wait until the autumn. So now I'm just knitting on these very highlighter strong colors. It's really nice to have strong colors and small knitting things in the summer. I'm really glad I finished my blanket before it got so hot. Otherwise I would probably never finish it. So yeah, that was my mittens. Maybe I should show you the original, because they are quite pretty. They are in like a minty color. So that's the original one. So yeah, this will probably be a shorter episode than usual, but since I have been mostly resting and keeping my feet up high, but I hope you enjoy spending some time with me. I really enjoy talking to you guys. So the last thing I want to show before I sign off are something for my stash a lot section. I haven't been stashing a lot this year since I have so much yarn and too many UFOs and a cute pug that wants to hunt all the birds. So yeah. I got 2 skeins of yarn from a Swedish ink dyer called Moods of Colors. These 2. So this is on her base called Humble Regards from Devon. So it's spun at John Arbon Textiles, and she dyes up the yarn. So this one is called Elegant Beige Moods. So it's quite a little bit of a tone between light and dark beige color. It's really nice. And then Fainted Allium Moods, which is this washed out pinkish purple color, or allium to describe it really good. I really love the Humble Regards from Devon base. It's a non-superwash sock yarn. So it's blue faced leather and nylon, and I really like this combination. So this will probably be 2 pairs of socks. So yeah, that's all about anything for today. Now the pug is trying to escape, so I will have to go and find him and make sure that the bulldog drinks some water so he doesn't get overheated. But thank you so much for spending some of your day here with me, and hopefully we will see each other very soon again. If you want to contact me, you can reach me on Ravelry at ChubbyPugYarn. You can write in the down bar here on YouTube. And now the pug comes back. Yes! The pug comes back! Come. Vill du säga hejdå? Okay, so if you want to reach us, contact us on YouTube in the down bar, or on Ravelry in the Ravelry group, ChubbyPugYarn podcast, or otherwise I'm Distortion on Instagram. So